Sairam students, I welcome all of you once again to the first revision session of lesson number 23, infectious diseases and how to prevent them. So let's begin. So students, you must have noticed that most of the time when your friends fall while playing and you get hurt, does anyone tells you that don't go near to them, otherwise you will also get hurt? Have you heard any time all such kind of comments? No, we haven't heard any type of that comment. Okay. One more thing, you must have noticed that most of the time, suppose your mother has a severe headache. Do you also get a headache if you just go near to her? No, we won't get headache, right? So now I want to ask you that when is it that you're told not to go near a sick person, not to use their utensils, and not to use their eating or drinking towels and cloth, etc.? Can you tell me that when we are advised that be away from that person, otherwise you will also get infected? Tell me. Yeah, there are many of the conditions, like you must have heard about the common cold, influenza, then you must have heard about the ringworm, which is a skin infection, chicken pox, it is again skin infection, scabies is a skin infection, and even common cold also, correct? So when the people are suffering from the common cold and ringworm, that time we are told to stay away from the people who are ill. Otherwise, do you know that when people are even suffering from the common cold or cough, there are many variety of the germs are there which are present around them. So these germs, these microorganisms, they might get enter in our body if we go near to them, and again we will also get the infection. So students, as you can see that over here, there are many diseases which can spread from one person to the another person. So these type of the diseases which can be spreaded from one person to the another person, it is called as what? Infectious diseases. What we call them as? Infectious diseases. So whatever diseases which are spread from one person to the another person, it is called as what? Infectious diseases. Okay, so these infectious diseases, who exactly causes the infectious diseases, and what are exactly the infectious diseases basically? So as you can see that over here in this picture also, this person is sneezing, this person is coughing without putting hand on his mouth and without taking any type of the precaution, and you can see that through his sneezing action the germs are coming out here, right? So what do you exactly mean by the infectious disease? So infectious disease means what? There are these diseases, who exactly causes the disease, that is there are many type of the microorganisms which are present around us. So the diseases which are caused by the microorganism, the diseases which are caused by the microorganism, they are called as what? Infectious diseases. Is that clear? What I told you, what do you exactly mean by the infectious diseases? So micro means what? A very small. Micro means what? A very small. Organism means what? A living thing. A living thing which is very small, which cannot be seen with our naked eyes, and we want the microscope for that thing. It is called as what? Microorganism. So the microorganisms are responsible for causing the infectious diseases. Is that clear? So the microorganisms are causing the infectious diseases to us. So when the germs of the particular disease, so when the germs of the particular disease enters in our body and begin to grow, the persons get that disease. Okay, so this is how the disease has been entered in the person's body, and this is how that person gets the disease whenever there is a particular germ enters in that person's body. Is that clear? And now you must be thinking that how is someone's disease passed to the another person? As you can see that over here, this person is coughing, right? So through his coughing action, can you see that a lot of germs are spreading here and there? And suppose if you passed away from such person, if you are near to this person, so automatically these germs will enter in your body. right? So you can see that over here, when a person has a cold, the germs from his body is spreaded in the air, and when he coughs or sneezes, so during sneezing or coughing action, all the germs are spreaded in the air. When the germs enter the other people's body, they also get the infection. So the infection occurs only because when these germs enter into the other person's body. Is that clear? So basically, what are the different ways in which these infectious diseases are spread? So as you can see that over here, there are basically 4 ways by which the infectious diseases are spreaded from one person to the another person. So as you can see that over here, air, water, food and insect. Air, water, food and insect, these are the 4 medium by which the infection diseases are spreaded rapidly. Okay, so that's why students always remember that water and food should be cleared. Okay, it should be clean and proper whenever you are consuming. And most importantly, if air is impure, then you be away from that air. If it is not possible, then you have to wear the mask for your safety. And if there are a lot of mosquito in your area, then you have to use a mosquito repellent or something like that, so that you will be away from the mosquito bite. Otherwise, all these things, they will transmit the diseases very immediately. Is that clear? So let's see that how exactly the diseases are spread because of the air. So there are certain diseases, like you can see that over here, diseases like influenza, COVID-19. Recently we all are suffering from the COVID-19, right? Tuberculosis, swine flu, these are the airborne diseases. Actually COVID-19, although it is a surface disease, but when a person sneezes or coughs, because the COVID-19 patient, when sneezes or coughs, the germs, the virus, it remains in the air for 1 to 2 hours. So that's why recently we modified this COVID-19 even in the airborne disease. So even this influenza, tuberculosis, swine flu, it is because of the air basically, and that's why right now everywhere, whenever we are stepping out of the house, we are wearing the mask, so that no germs will enter in our body and we will be safe from the disease. Is that clear? So students, even the germs are present in the spit or saliva of the person who has the disease. So that's why always remember that you don't have to spit here and there. If someone is spitting in your surrounding area or on the roadside or inside your home also, then you have to tell them, do not spit here and there. If anybody spits here and there, then there are the chances that the diseases will spread rapidly. Is that clear? So we have to avoid spitting here and there. Okay, so that's why when the person coughs or sneezes, the tiny droplets of the saliva, it enters in the body, and that's how when the other person breathe in the same air, the germs enter in their body. Is that clear? And this is how we get ill over here. So I hope so student, you must have understood that what are the ways of causing the diseases and how exactly the airborne diseases spreaded rapidly. So let's revise once again what we have learned today. So today we have learned that to avoid the airborne diseases, we have to cover our nose and the mouth whenever we sneeze or whenever we cough. Without covering your mouth, you don't have to sneeze or you don't have to cough. Otherwise, the other person will also get the infection. Is that clear? And most importantly, what we have learned? We have learnt about the infectious diseases. So the diseases which are spreaded from one person to the another person is called as what? Infectious diseases. What else we learn? We learnt about the microorganism. So microorganisms are tiny living particles or tiny living things which cannot be seen with our naked eyes. They can be only seen with the microscope, and they are responsible for causing the infectious diseases. And what we have learned? Infectious diseases are spreaded because of the air, water, food and insect. And to avoid the airborne disease, we have to wear the mask, okay, and we have to follow the certain basic hygiene. So I hope so students, whatever part we have covered today, you must have understood that. So the next part of the revision we will cover in the next session. Bye bye, take care.